This is an overview of Avl Cameo. Avl Cameo is our DOE and optimization software. What we show behind here is Cameo basically running a DOE test where we are defining out our operating points, our variations, and what Cameo is actively doing is it's going through this design space and it's probing the design space based on our criteria to ultimately build a model. So with the software, you basically define your operating points, define your variations, define limits, stability criteria, and then your KPIs. And by bringing those 5 things together, Cameo is able to take and go to those operating points, and it's now, you can see it's actually actively probing out the space at this operating point. And in this example, we're adjusting ID, IQ, and the switching frequency of an inverter. What this is doing is it's allowing Cameo to go and it's peeking out and probing this design space to try to find and build a model that can be used for optimization later. An interesting part about what Cameo can do, while it's probing the design space, it is keeping an eye on its limits. So it may be reaching a point. If it starts to see it's approaching a limit, it can kind of back off. It can also take some additional measurements when it sees those points. But also while it's running, it may be noticing that it's pre-calculated points that it felt it needed to determine this design space to model it correctly. It may notice as it's finishing up its points that there's other points of interest in this space. So you'll often see Cameo hold off before moving on to the next operating point, and then it'll start probing in areas that it thinks that there may be additional information that might help the model be more full. After you're done letting Cameo go off and build its models, you can now go into the back office, you can investigate those models and decide on potential trade-offs. Ultimately then maybe building maps for a speed torque optimization for your inverter. And that's an overview of Avl Cameo.